They have a lot of financial issues that is going to come to the surface that they're trying to suppress. Hi everyone, welcome to No Light Tarot. My name is Hallie. I'll be breaking down today PK and Dorit from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've been asked to do this. I actually was on Dana Wilkie's podcast where I spoke about her, so the link about that is in the description box below. Please make sure you subscribe to keep up with my content. Please make sure that you like if you want to share it with other people. You know, I think it's such a great time to like bond with friends with Real Housewives. You build a community together, and I'd love to keep this community going. Okay, great. So I am gonna do a deep dive on the podcast that I was on with Dana. We just spoke briefly about some things, kind of about her legal issues, tax issues, and what I thought. And I just want to put this out there. This is alleged, it's intuitive based, it's not fact based. When I do readings on people, when I tap into the energy, I protect them with angels. So this is an angel led reading. I don't call on any spirits. It's all about angels. So I pulled up the past, the present, and the future. Something that really inspired me to do it was I actually was listening, I was binge listening to first Dana and David's podcast. They did a podcast together, David from Behind the Velvet Rope, and then I listened to a lot with David because David went to school with Dorit. And it's funny because I hadn't heard anything about Dorit. I just had seen her on the show, obviously, speak about this whole situation about her and PK. And Dana had said to me in the podcast that a lot of what I predicted about her was true, that she was kind of like this. I feel like she has middle child syndrome, because I can definitely relate. I don't know if she is a middle child syndrome, if she is a middle child, but I feel like she has middle child syndrome. And this kind of like rebellious, I'm going to go against what everybody says, I'm going to leave this bum town. And that's how I felt growing up. I was like, I'm going to leave South Africa with, like, I'm going to make something of myself, you know, that kind of rebellious energy. And it's interesting, I feel like she has an Aquarius. She has Aquarius somewhere in her chart, because we tend to have, I'm an Aquarius, we tend to have that. I know she's a Cancer, and I know PK is a Leo. Also, which is very interesting, when I used to live in England, Kemsley is quite a well-known last name in realty. You see it in like commercial real estate quite a bit. And I also picked up in that podcast that the reason I think that they're here, this is my belief from what I've picked up from the energy, is that it might be a more suspicious reason than we realize. So from the past, I got Hierophant, King of Cups, and Eight of Wands. So I have a strong feeling that he kind of like picked her out. I picked this up in the reading I did too with Dana and Casey. It was so fun. And I feel like he kind of picked her out. She looked good. She looked like the kind of person he wanted around her. My nose is so itchy. I've been hiking a lot. My nose is so itchy, and I keep trying to not scratch it to ruin my makeup, and it doesn't look good aesthetically, so please bear with me. He saw her as like this kind of person he could have around. He's a very image-based person, and Leo's I love Leos. Leo, if I had a favorite sign, it would be Leo. I love Leos. My grandfather's a Leo. My favorite aunt is a Leo. My opposite sign is Leo. So I feel like a lot of my good friends are Leos. I really love Leos. But you know, every sign has its dark side. And Leo's dark side is that they kind of can become obsessed with perception and obsessed with looking good, looking perfect, and being very materialistic. And I can see that happening here, the dark side of PK. So with their present, I pick up Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and Two of Swords. They have a lot of financial issues that is going to come to the surface that they're trying to suppress. It's almost like I get this image very strongly. and it's from mostly his side, PK side. He's trying to suppress any kind of financial issues coming to the surface because he wants to cover it up by new, Page of Pentacles is new partnerships, new dealings. So he's trying from the behind the scenes, he's creating new deals with people, but he's trying to, like with Two of Swords, kind of trying to blindfold them. Can you see that? He's trying to blindfold them so that they don't fully see what he's been up to. So for the future, and I can clarify what he's been up to, I don't think it's anything good. And I feel bad sometimes when I do these readings and it's revealed that people owe taxes and stuff like that, because you know, we can all owe taxes. I don't want to give too much of my personal information, but sometimes you have issues with accountants, and that's happened to me. I've had issues with accountants and I've ended up owing because of the accountant, not because of me. So I give people leeway when it comes to taxes, but when it comes to situations like this, I feel like there's something else going on that is shady, because I get the image of other men involved too. Other men he has owed for a long time that he keeps on trying to scam, because he's a smooth talker. Leos Leos are smooth talkers. I don't want to talk politics, but think about the most smooth talking presidents we've had. They've been Leos in America. They've been Leos. So future wise, what's headed for the future for them? So Magician, Nine of Pentacles, and High Priestess. So I continue to see a lot of financial issues, and it's going to be kind of like covered up. There's a huge cover up coming soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to start a business, and it is actually going to go well. I get like food business. I know she started a restaurant, but I get like food truck. It's like little bites, little things. For me, I believe the reason why they might be starting all these businesses is money, yes, but it's also a way to hide money. I've worked in lots of restaurants. I used to manage a lot of restaurants, and a lot of shady things go on behind closed doors at restaurants, and that's why a lot of them survive. I mean, I worked at this one restaurant, I don't want to say where it is, but I used to manage it. Lots of celebrities used to come in, and it was very, let's just say, a lot of dubious behavior is going on. And then they have like art dealings, because one of the owners was an art gallery owner, and then they have like art dealings, and it was just very shady. And I actually met like one, I don't want to even put her name into the universe, but I met somebody who's like known to be a Satanist, and just like such, well, she says she's not a Satanist, but I beg to differ because of how I've looked her up and stuff like that, and it just seems very shady. Anyways, I served her a few times at that restaurant, so I've seen the inner and outer workings of a lot of restaurants, and they are often funded by blood money, literally sometimes. So the bottom of the deck is 5 wands, and it's almost like they're trying to catch up to something. And it's funny because I picked up the last reading that I did on Dana's podcast about them. I picked up that they're trying to run away from something, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up moving to another country, to run away from the 5 wands, to run away from the mounting issues. And the issues are not only financial. I have a strong feeling that people are out to get them. People are out to get them. It's kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, you know. And it's funny because I don't see them having like a deep connection, even though she said there was one episode she said that he was like her soulmate. She felt that she could feel like that. That's her prerogative, and she's told, I mean, it's her life obviously, but I don't see them having a deep connection. I feel like it's like very surface level, you know, which is very interesting for Cancer and Leo to be together, because I mean, Leos, I love Leos like I said, but Leos are not very deep people. Usually if a Leo is deep, they have other things in their chart like Scorpio or Pisces, something that really makes them deep. But in general, like Leo signs have a lot of fire energy, are not very deep, very surface level people. So 3 of Wands and the Empress, they want to invest in her, which would probably explain why she went on the show. But they're planning on like using her brand as a way to expand. So that's probably why they're going to start something else. And with Ace of Swords and 5 of Cups, they might have to give up some of their businesses because they're going to have to settle some of what has come to light. They say, like I said, they say they owe taxes. It's not uncommon to owe taxes. It's just if you have the money to pay it back. And I don't want to paint them as these villains. I feel like sometimes we go to that side and it's really not fair to people, especially when we don't know them, especially when it's a different situation, completely different situation from Erica and Tom Girardi, because you know I feel deeply for the victims. But if it's just taxes, I know it sounds silly, but like a lot of rich people do that. In fact, most rich people, that's how they become rich. They will run away from paying their taxes. So I'm not going to paint them out as these evil people because I don't believe in that. I think everybody has good, everybody has evil, and I am wishing the best for them and their children and their family, because I've heard only good things about how they treat people. So except for a few people, but at the end of the day, they're all human, and you know, sometimes we have our bad days. So Ace of Cups is going to be a renewal. Like I said, I feel like they're going to move forward. I get like beach. I see beach. It could be her beach wear. They might move near a beach, near water. I feel like Dorit wants to move to near water. Let's see. You know what the Real Housewives has taught me? I've always known this, but it's really solidified this message of like, you never know somebody's life until you live it. You think that they have millions of dollars, and I have dated my first share of rich men, and one of them, everybody thought had a lot of money. 2 of them actually. People thought they had a lot of money when they really didn't. I mean, that isn't why I dated them, but you know, they just had, everybody was like, how much money do you have? And I'm a very secretive person, so I'm not really secretive, but if it's somebody else's business, it's not for me to divulge. So I wouldn't talk about their finances, but they didn't have the money that people thought that they did. So you never ever know. Okay, so forward, move forward, move forward. Because you'll find some people who work like 2 jobs making what, 70k a year, and they save most of it, invest it, keep it in their family line, have more money than people that blow through a ton of money. You can make $1 million a month, but if you spend 999,000 of that, you only have 1,000 left, you know, at the end of the month. So it depends how much money you spend rather than how much money you make. That matters too sometimes, but mostly it's about spending. So with Ace of Wands and 5 crystals, it might not be a good idea for them to do this thing together. I feel like PK has kind of like a controlling way about him, and it might put strain on their relationship. So with 9 of Swords, I highly recommend that Dorit has something else on her own, that they're not doing it together. Yeah, that I recommend that she does something on her own. And there was the Justice and 7 of Wands. I don't want to put this into the universe, into the atmosphere, please, but the strain that I see on their marriage could lead to another divorce on his end. I see him becoming a second divorcee, but there is a way to avoid that. And I only say that because just because I say it's going to happen doesn't mean that it has to happen, and I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, if it's for the better, then that's up to God and the angels to decide. But if they continue to work so closely together, it's going to put a lot of strain on the relationship. And you know, Dorit seems like a very independent person. I'm like that too. I don't like people watching over my back, and he will watch over her back in a certain type of way. So that's what I have for you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.